News. Donald Trump has doubled down on his plan for the United States to take control of Gaza.
Donald Trump has ignited a firestorm of controversy by proposing that the U.S. purchase and take ownership of Gaza, resettling its Palestinian population elsewhere. He envisions transforming Gaza into an American-owned Riviera of the Middle East, suggesting that displaced Palestinians could permanently relocate. The plan was met with immediate and widespread condemnation from the UN, Middle Eastern nations, and key US allies who warned that it could destabilize the fragile Hamas-Israel ceasefire. Critics argue that forcibly displacing Palestinians would violate international law, with some likening it to ethnic cleansing. Palestinian leaders claim Israel is obstructing reconstruction efforts by restricting the entry of essential housing materials. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has shown interest in Trump's proposal, seeing it as a potential solution amid ongoing negotiations about Gaza's future. These discussions have included proposals for an international peacekeeping force or a temporary administration involving Arab nations. At present, U.S. security personnel are stationed at Gaza's checkpoints, signaling a possible expansion of international oversight, but not a U.S. takeover.
Across the political spectrum, Palestinians roundly rejected the comments as recycled Israeli ideas.
However, Trump's remarks have raised concerns that his plan could collapse the ceasefire, as Hamas may withdraw from negotiations if it believes Gaza is being permanently depopulated. During a press conference with Netanyahu, Trump stated that Palestinians would, quote-unquote, love to leave Gaza so the U.S. could redevelop it. Following the backlash, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt attempted to clarify that any displacement would be temporary to facilitate reconstructions, but by then, the damage had been done. The international reaction was swift and severe. Hamas denounced the plan as a blueprint for mass expulsion and regional chaos. The Palestinian Liberation Organization (PLO) and Palestinian Authority firmly rejected any forced displacement, reaffirming their commitment to a two-state solution. Palestinian Islamic Jihad warned that the proposal threatens Arab and regional security. Now, leading Middle Eastern powers like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan declared that they would not support any plan involving the forced removal of Palestinians or the normalization of Israeli relations without the establishment of a Palestinian state. These reactions highlight the deep opposition to Trump's proposal and its potential consequences for regional stability. Trump argues that decades of U.S. diplomacy have failed to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He sees Gaza's destruction as an opportunity for radical change, proposing that Palestinians permanently relocate while a U.S.-controlled development project replaces their homes. His background as a real estate mogul influences his approach, prioritizing large-scale reconstruction over the immediate humanitarian needs of Gaza's people. Trump's suggestion that the U.S. take over Gaza and resettle its population is widely seen as a direct violation of international law. Forced displacement is prohibited under the Geneva Conventions, and the idea of erasing Palestinian presence from Gaza intensifies long-standing tensions. Palestinians have deep historical and emotional ties to the land, making the notion of permanent relocation especially contentious. Despite Israel's claim that its occupation ended in 2005, Gaza remains under heavy Israeli control, with restricted movement, blockades, and strict oversight. The UN recognizes Gaza as part of Palestine, though the US does not. Many Palestinians consider the territory as an open-air prison due to the severe restrictions on travel, trade, and reconstruction.
Can President Trump really take ownership of Gaza and turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East?
Legally, the US has no claim to Gaza, and any attempt to impose American rule would violate international law. While Trump's comments suggest a dramatic policy shift, they are more likely a strategic move to influence negotiations rather than an actionable plan. Talks continue about Gaza's governance, including proposals for international oversight, but a full US takeover would require an unprecedented military intervention, an unlikely scenario. Trump's remarks could actually jeopardize the fragile ceasefire. Now, if Hamas believes the goal is to erase Palestinian presence in Gaza, it may pull out of peace talks, escalating hostilities. While some in Israel view Trump's vision as beneficial, potentially bolstering Netanyahu's government, others fear it could reignite violence and derail peace efforts. Trump's Gaza plan has sparked outrage across the globe, raising legal, ethical, and geopolitical concerns. As negotiations over Gaza's future continue, his proposal remains a wild card, one that could either reshape US policy in the Middle East or further destabilize an already volatile region.